Hey, you amazing friends. I'm with Master Hypnotherapist Juanita Smith. How are you today, Juanita?
Very well, thanks, Ed. How are you?
Now, where on earth are we, Juanita?
Yeah, the beautiful Bondi Beach. We're out. Perfect day.
I know, it is a winter's day, so it is deceptively warm looking, although it's cold. And Juanita, we were just talking about, again, you're a Master Hypnotherapist, addiction removal specialist. You were talking about vaping before, and you're telling me about the fallout and destruction it's causing. Tell us about vaping and what you're telling me on the walk here.
Yeah. Well, living in Bondi Beach, there seems to be a little bit of a vaping epidemic here. I am getting a lot of clients coming in and booking in because they can't stop vaping. And in the last 12 months, I've really noticed that rise. So maybe 12 months ago, I'd get the occasional vaping client. And now I'm booking in about 2 vaping clients a week.
Wow. And we're talking about this before because now I used to be a smoker when I was in the army. And if you are smoking, you should stop, right? Now, I guess vaping has taken off because vaping is what? It tastes better, it's sweeter, it's more cooler than smoking. Do you think, why it's taken off and become such a fad?
I think it's a lot more affordable as well. Like, it's quite cheap, so for young people. So everyone all my clients are in their 20s or even in their teens. So it's very big around, in teen circles, 20-something circles. And when I speak to my clients, they tell me that everywhere they go, all their friends are vaping. Everyone is hooked on it. No one's smoking, they're all vaping. And I'd say affordability would be a factor, and the fact that you can vape anywhere. While with smoking, there's places to smoke, it's very limited.
Wow. Yeah. Now, I suppose the big question is, we're having this chat before, is vaping more addictive than cigarette smoking? It sounds like it is. Again, we haven't done any scientific studies here, but it appears that it's a very, very addictive type of substance material, isn't it?
Vaping is as addictive as smoking, but it's nothing to do with what's in the vape or the cigarette. So no one is addicted to anything in the cigarette, no one's addicted to anything in the vape. So it doesn't really matter if you have a vape.
That's all right.
It doesn't really matter.
It's a bit wet when a bit wet where you're standing.
Yeah,
there we go.
It was a sinkhole.
Oh yeah, but please don't sink, Juanita. We love you.
Yeah. So thank you. So it doesn't matter if they have nicotine in the vapes or they don't have it in the vapes. It's the action that they're hooked on, which is the same as smoking.
Got it. So you're not saying it's not so much what's in it, it's more, hey, I'm with my friends, it tastes good, it feels good, I'm getting to hang out, people think I'm awesome. So you're saying that's the more addictive pattern there?
Yeah, which is the same as smoking. That's why people start smoking as well and get hooked on smoking. So it creates a deeply ingrained habit out of your control. A lot of people think they're addicted to nicotine, but nicotine's not addictive. Yeah, so nicotine's not addictive, and some people might be listening to this video and say that's not true. Like, you hear a lot nicotine addiction, but it's actually a myth. So if you're a smoker, or if you know any smokers who, for example, go on a long flight overseas, like a 20-hour flight, they are fine on the plane. They don't need an onboard doctor. They don't get sick. They're fine. They can go for 20 hours without any nicotine going in their body, and there's no withdrawal symptoms. But as soon as the plane lands, they need to have a cigarette or a vape for that matter. So it's just the same as patches don't work. So people put a patch on their body, they're flooding their body with nicotine, yet they still want to vape or smoke. They still have cravings for it. So it's actually addiction to the habit, and nicotine addiction is a myth.
It's funny you say that because I gave up smoking pretty easy because, to be honest, I was never really into it that badly, so it wasn't a huge issue.
Sure.
But I remember, this was 20 years ago when I was in the army, but what I remember though, interestingly, Juanita, is that I've known a lot of people to go through the process of giving up smoking, and yeah, they agree that patches aren't the way to go. Like, they help a little bit, but they don't actually kill that urge, don't they?
For some, it's a 6% success rate with patches. So most people just take them off and smoke because they're dying for a cigarette. But they don't really do anything. They might do a placebo effect for some people, but because flooding your body with nicotine doesn't do anything to stop the addiction to the habit, they don't really work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. Now, the big question I want to ask you, of course, is breaking the vaping addiction. So let's talk vaping. You've got a 19-year-old, he is hooked on vaping, and they come to you.
Yes.
From your viewpoint, how do you break that addiction and try to get them off the vapes?
Working with clients for vaping is pretty much the same as working with clients for smoking. It's an addiction to the habit out of your control. In fact, it's actually the same as working with clients for nail biting or poker machines. So it's all the same. So my treatment for unwanted habits is the same, regardless of the habit. Regardless if you're putting something into your mouth or you're addicted to the poker machine. So what we do, it's a 97% success rate, the same as the smoking. And what we do is we address what's keeping you smoking, which is a deeply ingrained habit in the unconscious mind, and we break that habit in a 2-hour session. And then people find they've got that freedom, they've got that control, and they're free of vaping.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. So yeah, fascinating, because again, I travel all the time. I go to the city all the time. I see vaping everywhere I go.
It's really scary. A lot of my vaping clients are telling me that because they're all in their 20-something, so they see these influencers online, actually in hospital, in intensive care with masks, saying don't start vaping. So it's actually seriously dangerous, and it's actually you're inhaling steam all day, which turns to fluid and drowns your lungs. So people end up in intensive care with flooded lungs.
Wow.
Plus it also can cause popcorn lungs, and a lot of my clients will come into on popcorn lungs, or their breathing is like popping. They comment on sore throat, fluttering heart, sore chest, and the problem is with smoking, you have to go somewhere to smoke. You start the cigarette, you finish the cigarette, then that's it till the next time you have a cigarette. But with vaping, it becomes highly addictive because you grab your vape as soon as you wake up, and you're actually inhaling it all day, and there's no stop to it, and so it just becomes an automatic unconscious behaviour. So and then you're putting all the toxins and the poisons, you're just inhaling that into your body all day, throughout the day. You're not actually getting any fresh air or oxygen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, powerful. You got me thinking, Juanita. Scary times. Juanita, thank you for everything you're doing. Before we finish up and get back to the winter Bondi Beach, do you have any closing thoughts for everyone out there, be it vaping or any addiction interruption or removal? Any thoughts on that one, Juanita?
Yes, well, it's just if people are aware that if you've got an unwanted habit that you're doing, you don't want to do it, but it seems out of your control. The reasons it's out of your control is because it's an unconscious habit programmed in your unconscious mind. And it really is, truly, it's not your imagination, it truly is out of your control. But the wonderful thing is hypnosis is a great way to very, very quickly go directly into the unconscious and break that habit. And then you get that freedom, you get that control. So if you're in that situation, it's very easy to fix. If you can come and talk to me about it.
Juanita, love your work. Thank you so much, Juanita.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you, Ed.